alive! It's alive! It's alive! It's alive! I created it. I made it with my own hands.
Hey everyone, Luke here. Today I'm going to be creating my adaptation of Frankenstein's Monster. I'm going to be starting this painting off, as always, with a sketch and then going right into the underpainting. For this underpainting, I'm going to be using a raw umber acrylic, and I'm going to be using this to block in a bunch of my shapes and start to define some of the dark and light values. My goal as always with this is to have this balance between looseness and accuracy. To help achieve this, I like to get as much work done possible with a big brush. This allows me to transfer a lot of information really quickly to the panel, and it makes me not get caught up in the details, which I think is the death of a lot of paintings. I've recently been adding a little bit of titanium white to my underpainting to solidify some more of the highlights in the painting. During this phase, I'm really just trying to put as much information down on the panel as fast and as accurately as possible so that when I get to the painting phase, I can just focus on painting and I'm not so worried about the proportions and perspective of the piece. With my method of painting, I like to break it down into different sections. The first being this underpainting sketching layer, the second being the color mixing phase. What I do is I prepare my palette with the majority of the colors I'm going to be using. So for example, for this painting, it's really going to be broken up into 3 different color groups. We're going to have some green skin tones for the Frankenstein's monster. We're going to have some blues for the background, and then we're going to have some warm colors for his shirt and some of his facial features. The idea of this color mixing phase is not to mix every single color that's going to be in the painting. I'm really just trying to focus on the darkest value, some mid values in between, and the lightest value. So now that my colors are all mixed, I'm ready to get into the painting phase. And I really like to take the ideology of eating the frog first. This is the idea that you're trying to take on the most difficult task first. So in my opinion, the most important parts of a portrait typically would have to be the facial features. So things like the eyes, the nose, the mouth. Generally speaking, if you hit those perfectly or near perfectly, the rest of your portrait will sort of come together. Now, thankfully, I am doing a monster in this case, and it's my version of this monster. So I definitely felt a lot more relaxed going into this portrait because I am the only one who's going to know if I messed up or not, because this is literally a monster with other people's skin bolted on top of it. Speaking of monster, this is always a really interesting thing about Frankenstein, is that Frankenstein is actually the doctor who created the monster. If you go back to the original book, the monster is never really given a name. It's often referred to terms like the creature, the demon, the wrench, or simply the monster. There is a point in the book in which he does refer to himself as Adam, sort of comparing himself to the first human ever created in the Bible. But it's very interesting to me how pop culture works and how over the years, how this character has become more and more popular, how they have started to add a name to him. And instead of giving him something unique, they simply just took the doctor's name, Frankenstein. Another popular adaptation of the monster is that his skin was green, but in the original book, his skin was never green. It was written as though his skin was yellowish and translucent as it was being stretched over the muscles and veins. The green skin actually came from the very popularized version of Frankenstein from Universal Pictures back in 1931, starring Boris Karloff. Apparently, the makeup artist Jack Pierce designed the monster's skin to be green because it would show up better in black and white. And it wasn't until posters and promotional material came out for the film that the green skin became a distinctive feature of the character's look, completely throwing out Mary Shelley's yellowish translucent version of the skin. Even his personality has been warped and changed over the years, from him being a brute monster like in the 1931 film, to him being a misunderstood tragic hero, highlighting his quest for acceptance and his struggles of being an outsider. All of this very different from how Mary Shelley wrote him as being a quite intelligent creature, being able to learn languages, have deep philosophical thoughts, and even him being able to express his want and need for a companion. Despite these changes, Frankenstein's monster remains a cultural symbol of scientific ambition, isolation, and really questions what it means to be human. Artists, filmmakers, and writers continue to reinterpret the character, keeping him alive and well in the modern imagination. And with these final touches, I give you Frankenstein's Monster. Thanks for joining me as we explored Frankenstein's monster and his evolution over time. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more art content. Let me know in the comments, what's your favorite version of the monster? Also, check out my website where prints of this piece and other ones like it are all available. Follow the link down in the description. And as always, I want to thank you all for watching and I hope you all have a great day.